Hello everybody, yes it's me again, that fella from Chesterfield. But you know who I am, don't you? Yes you do, yes. Right, this video, it's I set off on a cold frosty morning, and when I set off the roads were okay, but as I climbed up out of Chesterfield, up onto the tops, things change. And I find myself on ice, riding on ice. So as I'm going along, I share a few winter riding tips in this video. Yes, watch out for Wilf. Water, ice, leaves, fog. Yeah, you've got to watch out for Wilf in winter. Yeah, so I share a few riding tips. I suspect most people out there with motorbikes have not ridden on ice. I know a lot of people put the bikes away in winter, lay them up, but that's well, it's safer, but yes, you can ride in winter. You can. You have to if it's your only means of transport. Anyway, yeah, so I managed to survive the ice. And then I stick to the main roads and I go up in a big loop round Buxton on the A6, keeping on the main roads, and I drop back down and I have a breakfast in the Yonderman. Yep, we go in the Yonderman for a breakfast, and I wait for the roads to thaw, and after they've thawed I have a little short ride round a couple of local villages with a little bit of local history. Nothing too heavy. Yes, and then I make my way home. So, I hope you enjoy it. So join me, just as I'm about to do some ice road riding. We have got ice on the roads this morning. Riding on ice. Can you see the ice on the road? You're okay while you keep in a straight line. Keep off the brakes and the throttle. But it's a different thing when you come to corners. And there's nothing you can do on ice to save yourself. It will slip. But while you're in a straight line like this, you're perfectly safe, as long as you keep your head and keep your speed down and don't touch those brakes. This is what you have to look for at high altitude in winter. It can be perfectly fine in the bottom. We'll get up here and it's icy, and I'm on a corner now. Steady. So just gently braking with the back brake now. Very gentle. I'll knock it down again and let the engine brake. But yeah, let's get down a bit. This road's not been treated. Hopefully when we get into the sunlight round that next bend, the road will be thawed. Right, this is steep down this next section. Hopefully it won't be frozen because it's under the trees here. We'll just take it very, very gingerly down here. I'm not touching the front brake down here, not one bit. There's skid marks there. I think this is alright here, yes. There's no frost on the road here. Sheltered by the trees. But we have leaves. That was a bit slippy on that corner. And we're away again. Yes. You've just got to be careful, especially in the mornings, till the temperature gets up a little bit. I have come out a little early this morning, but it's no problem as long as you're careful. Got frost on here again, look. These roads haven't been treated. It's a little country lane, this. Well, it's a B road, I think. I've not touched my front brake all the way down here. I daren't. But even on treated roads, you've got to be careful because it can still be slippy. You can slip on the salt that they put on the road. And when you turn at a junction like this, just ease out gently. And don't accelerate till both wheels are straight. And accelerate gently. And away we go. Slowly around the curves. And gently accelerate. Now this road will be salted. But even so, use your eyes, look at the road, and this looks clear. I think this is okay. The sunlight's on it as well, which helps. But we've got a shadow here, so just ease off a little bit in the shadows. You have to look out for wilf in winter, water, ice, leaves and fog. Water, wet roads, wet white lines, wet manhole covers especially.
but water on asphalt, it's a lubricant and it makes it more slippy. And where there's water there's ice, depending on the temperature. Leaves, obviously after autumn the leaves drop and you have leaves on the road. So where you are under trees, try and stay in the tyre tracks of the cars, the well-worn path. Fog, well, fog speaks for itself, but low visibility, so yeah, you've got to ride with your lights on as usual. Most bikes now have them on automatically, but help yourself with a little bit of high vis and slow down. In winter you've got to slow down, drive accordingly. You cannot just keep battling on the same as you do in summer when the roads are warm and dry. It's common sense, but is it to some people? Slow down in these shadows, look. Try and keep the bike as upright as possible. You can ride in winter, even on the coldest day, with a little bit of care. Right, so I'm going to have a brew in the Yonderman. Yeah. Ooh, what's all this lot? A load of work vehicles in. Well, another beautiful day. It was a bit icy this morning, wasn't very good, but now the roads have thawed. I've just had a nice breakfast at the Yonderman, and I've turned off for Fulo, and now I'm heading down towards Eam on a beautiful winter's morning. The roads have thawed out now, the temperature's just come up a bit, but best to be careful in the shadows, like here. You'd never just know. That big factory over to the left there is fine grinding. It's been there a long time. Friends of mine and relatives have worked there in the past. Fine grinding. locally known as Black Hole, because they grind up all sorts of nasty stuff with there, and the workers get as black as coal miners working there. Well, they used to. I don't know what it's like now, but I know when my mate worked there, it took him forever to get clean after he'd been at work. Yeah, so we're dropping down into Eam, and lots of people have done documentaries and things about this village. It's famous because it was the plague village. Yes, and the Black Death was going all through Europe, and it was rife in London. Somebody in this village ordered some bolts of cloth, I think, and that's how the disease came into the village, so they say. And this village isolated itself from the world, and eventually the disease died out, and but it killed a lot of people in the village, obviously. I know there was one poor lady, she carried most of her family out and buried them quite a lot. Yes, it must have been very frightening. And there's nothing to rely on but religion in them days. God help us, as they say. Yes, I watched a documentary once, and they did tests on the descendants that had survived the plague here, and apparently they were resistant to HIV. Yeah, they must have had very strong constitutions. Now then, I don't think I can get through that way, so I'm going to turn right down here. I just... Ooh, whoa. Yeah, she got the winker on. I wasn't sure then. I thought she was going to carry on. I'll go down the dale back into back down into Stony Middleton Dale. It's always dark and dank down this little bit of road. With all the trees growing over the road. Keeps it sheltered all the time. Right, we're turning left here. Behind those trees opposite is a quarry. Dalton Quarry. Busy down here today. Yeah, Dalton Quarry. And that is the quarry that was used in the filming of Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible film, with the train going over the edge of the cliff. Wow, a big three-wheeler. Just pedalling. And this is Stony Middleton we're coming down into now. And there's some high cliff faces there overhanging, look. You see the big cliff faces? It's not a quarry, this is all natural. And it's beautiful, isn't it? It goes all the way down here, look. And as we come down into the village here, there's a little Indian restaurant on the left. I think it's still there, yeah. See this building on the first on the left here, Curry Cottage. Lover's Leap, you see, it says on there. And that was the Lover's Leap Cafe when I was a youngster. And that's named after a... Well, the legend is that there was a young lady, heartbroken over something with a boyfriend or husband, I don't know. But she leapt off the top of the cliffs. And the legend is that she'd got lots of big heavy petticoats and dresses on, as they used to wear in them days, and the petticoats bellowed out and slowed the descent, and she survived the fall. Whether that's true or not, I do not know, but that's the legend. Well, that sunlight's really bright this morning, but it's welcome. Any sunlight's welcome in winter, isn't it? Yeah, we like the sunshine. And now we're coming down to Carver. Carver Suff, this is. Oh, yeah, Carver. And it's spelt with an L, but it's pronounced Carver. C-A-L. VR. This road actually bypasses the village of Carver. The village is over on the right hand side here. I always enjoy coming through Chatsworth Park. It is a nice little section of road, and of course it's there are no fences or hedges at the side of the road when you get in the park, so you've just got to look out for wildlife and sheep, etc., because they're all roaming free. The wildlife I'm talking about are the deer. There's herds of deer in the park. I say wildlife. I presume they're not domesticated. I don't think you can domesticate a deer, can you? Whoa, that sun is bright this morning. This on the left hand side is the Chatsworth golf course. There's the Chatsworth farm on the right. And this big building on the left here is called Enza Institute. And I don't know if it's still used for functions and things, but I used, as a teenager, I went to many discos and things there. People used to have parties there and what have you. I don't know if you can still hire it out. And that's Enza village on the right hand side there, all walled off. Owned by the Duke and the Duchess. There's lots of cars in Chatsworth today, look. Lots of visitors, but I think Chatsworth House is all decorated up with the Christmas decorations starting from the beginning of November. I'm not sure about that, but I think from the beginning of November. Yeah, if ever you come through Chatsworth Park in the dark, watch out, because you can have a cow in the middle of the road, and cows and deer and sheep don't have reflectors. Yes, I've had that happen to me, come through here in the dark, and next thing there's a cow stood in front of you. Wow, look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Yes, it was worth coming out, Kev. Blinking-lutely it was.
Well, I'm wrapping this one up here, folks. So, I hope you've enjoyed this little ride out with me as much as I have. And if you just press the subscribe and the like button, that would be awesome. So, it's goodbye from me. Bye-bye now. Ta-ta. Ta-ta.